Logitech recently released their MX Master 3, the successor to the MX Master 2S. I've been using the original MX Master since it came out, and it's held up really well over that time. So this review is going to be based off my usage of this mouse over the past 6 weeks or so, and how much I've absolutely enjoyed using it. If you're looking for a little bit more a push to kind of make that purchase of the MX Master 3, and you're coming from the original MX or MX 2S, then I can cut right to the chase and just say, just go ahead and buy this thing. You won't be disappointed. If you need more substance to that, let's talk about this mouse in more detail, starting with the back and forward buttons on the side. They've been moved down and separated much more, making it much easier to operate them. I found myself moving my thumb up and pressing the thumb wheel when I first started using this mouse, because the previous version of the mouse, it had the back and forwards next to the thumb wheel, a little bit back on where that placement is. I no longer have to sit and think and make a conscious effort to navigate back and forth on web pages. The buttons are perfectly placed to fit me personally, and they are more ergonomically placed, making it much more easy to use. It's a much better experience. The next noticeable change is Logitech's new take on the scroll wheel. They're dubbing this the MagSpeed electromagnetic scroll wheel. The MagSpeed scroll wheel is machine steel, and you will feel the difference right away. It has a substantial feeling when you're using the mouse and is operated based on inertia motion. So you can scroll a ton with the flick of your finger because the weight of the wheel allows you to initiate that inertia movement. I like it quite a bit because it's quiet and is way more precise in scroll actions from the MX Master. On previous versions, I would always hear the wheel when trying to scroll quickly, and it wasn't super accurate, but it did the job. And the wheel felt cheaply implemented on previous versions. The MX Master 3 definitely delivers a much improved experience with the scroll wheel. The electrical magnetic mechanism Logitech used to put this thing together is really quite nice, and the user experience is much improved over previous versions of the MX Master series of mice. The ergonomics of this mouse have been tweaked to better suit your hand, and the horizontal scroll wheel is more centered with the thumb. The change they made to the back and forward buttons is a nice touch. You no longer have to move your thumb awkwardly back a little bit and try to differentiate between the two because they were so closely placed. I will say I got used to the old MX Master, and it took some time to adjust to the MX Master 3's back and forward buttons placement. Overall, the mouse is pretty much the same, and it is a great fit for my hand personally. The beauty of the MX Master series of mice is their ability to have customized buttons to meet your specific needs. That is no different with the MX Master 3. That is continued forward. All of my settings are carried from my MX Master original in the Logitech's options, but I will say I had to update the MX Master 3's firmware upon initial setup. It was acting all kinds of weird and forgetting all my custom buttons and gesture setups when I first connected this mouse to my iMac Pro. As soon as I updated the firmware on the mouse, all of the past settings were carried over from my MX Master to my Master 3. And it was a seamless integration and implementation of updating. Let's talk about some specifications of the Master 3. It comes in two colors at the time of this video, because they may implement some further down the road: mid-gray and graphite. It weighs 5 ounces in total and is compatible with Windows 8 or later, and Mac OS 10.13 or later, iPad OS 13.1 or later. Oh, in addition, with those compatibilities, it also works with Linux systems. That's just to say that you're using it to connect via Bluetooth, as the system you're using must be compatible with Bluetooth LE or low energy. If you connect this thing with the included USB receiver, it will support Windows 7. It has a 500 milliamp hour battery built in and features quick charge technology, the USB-C port on the front of the mouse. That'll give you roughly 3 hours of use with 1 minute of charge time using a compatible quick charging output source. which I can verify is true and is quite amazing. I had my mouse die, plugged it in for about 90 seconds, and I finished an edit with only a few low battery warnings from the Logitech's Options app. The Master 3 has dark field technology built into it, which gives the mouse the ability to work on pretty much any surface like that of glass or reflective surfaces. There's a total of 7 buttons on this mouse that are all remappable. If you want to see how I have my buttons mapped, hit this card here and you'll see how I have done my setup with my MX Master. Those settings have carried forward into the Master 3, or you can hit the video link in the description to see more about that. And last but not least, this mouse is capable of staying connected for up to 10 meters line of sight when it's using its USB-A receiver. One thing that I'd like to talk about in this video and kind of give Logitech some props for is Logitech supports their gear for long periods of time. I've been using the original MX since its release, and they keep updating it, and it works flawlessly on my system. I get updates every now and again. I've had a couple of firmware updates for the mouse, but the Logitech Options has just grown and become quite a substantial system that provides a lot of granular control over your mouse. The Master series of mice is really the perfect tool for creatives, especially editors that live in NLE environments. The Master 3 is a culmination of a perfect mouse in my honest opinion. Regardless if you work in Windows or Mac OS, you should definitely consider picking up this mouse. And if you work in multiple environments and need to switch between systems quickly and easily, you really won't regret shelling out the $100 for this mouse. It is the perfect mouse for me, and it's probably going to be perfect for you too if those things match with you. If you want to see current pricing and availability, I will leave that linked in the description of this video. Full disclosure, that is my affiliate link, so shopping through that gives me a little bit of a kickback on your purchase without costing you anything in addition. It's just a way to support content creation here on this channel, and it's a way for me to make revenue to continue to create content for this channel. Before I close, I have nothing to disclose. I purchased this mouse with my own money, and it's something that I use every day when I'm editing video. Well, that about does it for me in this one. If you like this video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, you know what to do. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I'm Tomas, and I will catch you in the next one.